What is going on? Welcome back to CA Power Player Podcast. I'm your host, Cody Askins. And I'm about to jump into an interview with a dude making, he's got crazy money. He's helped agents so well. Amazing content. He's been on the channel before. But before I get there, I want to remind you guys, for early releases of the podcast, access to live dials, courses, all the other content that we do, you can check out all of that at castudios.tv. I'm also going to do an extended release of the podcast today. That'll be in CA Studios. So make sure you can go check that out. Our special guest today is someone that probably should not need an introduction at this point, but if you're new to the business, new to the channel, you're someone that you're going to get to know really well. He's been in the business 10 years tomorrow with the companies with. His best year his best month. It sounds like a year when I say it. Might as well. But his best month commissions was $400,000 in a month. Can you guys imagine $400,000 in a month? If you would like to make $400K in a month, type $400K, or maybe make $400K in a month or
in a year, though.
Year,
but do it in a month.
Some of you, maybe a decade. Like, just type 400 in chat in the comments so we can see that you're alive and well and ready to rock. He's going to teach us today about plugging into a system and helping you get paid, because I'm guessing he would love to. Welcome back, Mr. Darin Stubbs.
Thank you, Cody. Pleasure to be here, man. It's been too long, my friend.
I agree, man. Like, dude, we have been all over the place together. Darin and I traveled for an entire week doing events together. Like, this cat spoken on Main Stage at 8%. She's been traveling 21 of 31 days in July.
This month. I've been gone 21 of 31 days from my own home. Yeah.
Insane.
That's why I'm in this little hotel room in Williamsport, Pennsylvania today.
It's cool. I love it. Yeah, he's normally on like a yacht, or he's got like some sick view, or whatever. But he's doling it back for us today. I'm like, I like that. I feel like
I'm doing the musician thing this week, dude. I'm playing my horn,
right.
So I got to dial it down. I don't get paid that well to play the trumpet, but I'm having fun though.
Hey, man, if you guys like music, or you're musical inclined, you like playing instruments, you like concerts, bands, you're gonna love this cat. If someone is wanting to, if they aren't getting paid to the level that they feel like they should be getting paid, whose fault is it? Whose fault is it?
Well, that's absolutely their fault. I mean, let's just cut to the quick. It's their fault.
Why is that?
Well, typically, you kind of have to define newer people to the industry into two categories from my point of view, Cody. Okay. You've got complete rookies that have never been in the insurance business. I actually prefer to work with them. Then you got people, actually three categories. You have people that have been with someone else, or maybe they were at the captive agency and they have resistancy to receiving coaching. Remind me, Cody, to go through my 9 points of recruiting. I think that might be valuable, what we talked about before. Sure. And then you have the people that are, well, that's not how we did it. And then they, say where they were. And those people simply are frustrating to deal with. But I think in general, most people have that unconscious incompetence, meaning they don't even know what they don't know to be successful, which leads to what you and I talked about in the beginning, and the kind of the title of the podcast, plugging into a system, being willing to follow instructions. Sure. And because I teach people that there's 4 skill sets I need to teach you. You're just simply not good at it yet. And that's that piece of finding where people are at from the humility side of things and the drive side of things to trigger that, as Coach Burt used to say, trigger the prey drive to turn you into a predator. And that takes some doing to unlock that for people.
Yeah, it does. I feel like you have helped a lot of people unlock that. And we've talked about this before, like the importance of plugging in to a system, actually showing up. For you guys that are out there that are like, dude, I feel like I need to show up better. I need to, get out of my comfort zone. I need to get out of my area. I need to get on Zoom. I need to do whatever, What advice would you give? And is it important? Can you succeed in isolation in this industry?
Well, I think backing up to that, let's back up. This is a good spot for me to put the 9 points in when I recruit. If I'm on a Zoom meeting and I'm recruiting you, and most of us are like a broken record. Once you find your voice when you're recruiting and training, you tend to say the same thing over and over and over. And part of what it is it's sorting and finding. Amateurs try to sell and convince people to get into the industry. Professionals sort and find. So for me, I'm looking for aces and faces. I actually have a deck of cards in my thing right there. But usually I shuffle the deck and, there's 52 cards. You can shuffle it until Jesus comes back, but there's still only going to be 52 cards. And there's only 4 aces, Cody. So you look at recruiting, the 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s. Yeah, I don't even recruit those people. I'm looking for aces and faces. Face cards, jacks, queens, kings, and aces. But you got to show me 9 things. And I think this could be good for the industry, not just for my agency, not just for Symmetry Financial, but hey, maybe you're working someplace else and you're trying to figure out, well, how can I sort and find the right kinds of people? So here's what it comes down to. And I think if you have these 9 things, the next step, plugging into a system, will start to work for you. So the first one is you have to be hungry. You have to have a drive. You have to have a why. I mean, come on. None of us grew up thinking, yeah, Dad, when I grow up, I'm going to sell insurance. I mean, no, although I actually met some people that do. But overall, you have to have a hunger. You have to have a drive. You have to have a why. Either that why is something positive, or maybe you're sick and tired of being sick and tired and pissed off at the boss who tells you what to do all the time. And you're like, wait a minute, I want to be in control of my own future. I want to be in control of my own destiny. That's a double-edged sword, as you know, Cody. Because on the one hand, you get to do what you want, but on the other hand, you have to learn to be accountable to yourself and accountable to your calendar. And that's a non-negotiable thing right there. So hungry. The next part will be humble, coachable, teachable, and trainable. Now, I'm fully aware the last 3 are synonyms, but actually in the context of how I teach, they mean something slightly different from the action of doing those things. That's the easy ones. You want to hear the hard ones, Cody? Okay.
Yeah.
When I sit down with people, I say, look, Cody, I can help you. I really can. But you have to show me the 5 easy ones, but you have to show me the 4 hard ones. And the first one is you, of your own free will, must choose to surrender to our system, to surrender to the process. Notice I didn't say submit like a boss, you do what I say. That's not what this gig is about. You get, you've heard my CEO mindset speech. I've been giving that one for a decade. You get to become the CEO of your own multi-million-dollar agency, but it starts out at the beginning in its infancy. So you choose to surrender and follow your mentors, follow your coaches, which leads to hard one number 2. You must follow instructions. Okay, and I use the word must deliberately. I learned that one from Tony Robbins 20 years ago when he was talking about, well, you want something, maybe, coulda, woulda, maybe. How about you must have something? You must have the success. It triggers something inside that's different. So if you're hungry, humble, coachable, teachable, trainable, you're surrendering to the process, you're following instructions. Then the third one, I like to kind of have fun with people. And this is a good exercise. If you're watching this video and you're watching the replay, clear your mind just for a second. Okay. And tell me, how fast did the last 5 years of your life fly by? How fast? How long did it take for the last 5 years to fly by? Most people go like that, right? In an instant. So let me tell you what the insurance industry is not. If you want to play big, and I like that phrase that you do, if you want to play big, you say that often, you have to accept that this is not a 3 to 5 day program, Cody. It's not 3 to 5 weeks. It's not 3 to 5 months. You know what it is. It's at least 3 to 5 years. But if you start the beginning of the journey with that mindset, let's go back. Hungry, humble, coachable, teachable, trainable. I'm willing to surrender because obviously, like my company, we're going to do $300 million in new premium this year. Something's working right. In fact, just a little side digression here. Last year, July 31st, 2024, we were in Forbes magazine. Top 25 highest paying companies. Well, all companies in the United States of America. I mean, everybody. Symmetry Financial, number 9. Go look it up. It's a pretty nice little feather in our cap. So if you look at that and you say, okay, I can accept 3 to 5 years. That's not that long. Tomorrow's my day 1 of my 10th year with Symmetry. August 1st, 2025 will be day 1 of my 10th year. A decade. It's flown right by. But see, here comes the hard part, Cody. And men and women, but men typically have a problem with this. And it's that willingness to receive coaching. And maybe a little correction along the journey. You got to get your pride, your ego, your narcissism, and fellas, your testosterone. You could check that crap, check it. Or you can stay broke. I mean, stay right where you're at. Go ahead, fine. But someone like me, 3 strikes, you're out. Strike 1, hey, I'll probably take the blame for that. That's on me, Cody. I probably didn't explain it very well. Let's review it again. Strike 2, wait, didn't we already go through this? But strike 3 comes around, I'm conveniently unavailable to you because I'm going to move on because what's the process? sorting, finding. So if you come into it with that mindset, okay, I'm willing to be humble. I'm willing to be teachable. I'm willing to be coachable. I'm willing to receive coaching. And oh yeah, a little correction without acting like a petulant 13-year-old child when your mentor, who may be younger than you, your mentor, who may be an opposite sex than you, corrects you. Don't be butter like a child. It's ridiculous. And I'm spending a few minutes on this because guess what happens too often? I mean, from my point of view, people simply don't want to listen. Well, then what did you call me for? Why did you book a coaching session with me if you're not going to listen? It's a waste of your time, and infinitely more important to me, it's a waste of my time. So if you take a look at that and say, wait a minute, there is a system. Most companies have a system, whether that's webinars and training and like we're focusing on our national conference because we have a once a year national conference. It's this year's the 13th through the 15th in Denver. So we're getting people to that. And one of the things that we have found, a success clue, is you go through and you look at the pictures of all the people who become agency owners and they move up to the top contracts, big bonus checks. They never miss anything, Cody. They're at everything.
That's right.
So why would you assume that you could be successful, but you're not plugging into Cody's training in Cody's group? You're not going to 8% nation. I mean, wait a minute. I want to ask an honest question. I want you to answer it quickly. Do you know anyone who makes, and I'm talking $500,000-600,000 a year and up, who does not go to the conferences and trainings? Do you know anyone who can do it?
No.
See? And Cody's training the whole industry. I train in the whole industry, and I tend to focus in my sphere, in my world. But I'm telling you, and every once in a while, we all hear it as coaches. Well, I'm going to be the first person that's going to make it to the top contract, and I don't need any of that. Sure you are. Good luck with that. That's that pride, that ego, that entitlement, that narcissism that kills people's dreams. They think it fuels them exactly the opposite. Man, get a little humility. Get a little coachable. Maybe you're 55 years old and the person mentoring you is 26. If they're doing a couple $100,000 a month in premium in their agency and you're just getting started, who cares how old they are? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Correct.
So I think that's a good mindset to start with. There's what's that definition of insanity? See, I Darinized it a little bit. Most people say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Well, I Darinized it. Doing the same thing over and over, comma, and then being stupid enough, comma, to expect a different result. Again, that's ego. That's pride. Yeah. If the things are working out so well for you, then why did you get on a job board? Why did you go to LinkedIn? Why did you answer a Craigslist ad? Why did you answer one of my Facebook posts about the fact that we're hiring and we're coaching and we're looking for the right kind of people? The beauty is anybody can make it. True. I'm a living testament of that.
True. They can. Definitely can. And to your point, there is something to be said for someone that wants to win and will do whatever you say. That not just say they'll do whatever you say you think they should do, but actually do it without an ego, without pride, without being stubborn. Like it's easy to come from something else and be like, man, I know it all. I had success here, but Darin, I was great at selling cars.
That's great.
We don't sell cars.
Yeah, but take your business acumen from what you've learned, from where you've been. That's a good thing. But at the same time, put that here on the shelf just a little bit and be open to receiving new information to help you get from where you're at to where you want to go. It's just a process. I don't even know how many agency owners, 12, 14, something like that now. And I remember thinking to myself when I first started, God, how am I ever going to do $100,000 a month? And then, $100,000 a week, then $100,000 a day. And it's just a process. It takes time. Everyone wants to be at the top. Yeah, I got it. It's a 3 to 5 year journey. Now, yes, some people move faster. Hey, I've got a friend that just made it to the top contract. It took them 10 years. Oh, boo-hoo. They blink $60,000 a month before they get out of bed after 10 years. Oh, I'm so tore up for them, Cody. It took them 10 years. Well, how many careers are going to pay you $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a month after 10 years? I can't think of any except the insurance industry.
Yeah, correct. So
having good mindset, having vision, and then just having, anxiousness on the one side, but then the humility and patience on the other side to allow it to grow into fruition. You know what I mean? It's like I'm having a lot of fun in my house because I planted a beautiful garden. I have a couple garden boxes, and every morning I get up, do my morning thing, go out, pick my tomatoes, pick some strawberries, pick some basil leaves, pull out some onions. Just depends what's ripe. And I look at that and think, how long did it take? Because I remember doing this in the springtime, pulling weeds and getting bags of peat moss and getting bags of manure and mixing it all up. And I live on a golf course, so I'm on a tee box. So every once in a while, I'll be out there working and see a bunch of guys. I'm like, all right, you fellas, you get up here and fix my garden boxes. I'm going to finish the loop. And when I come back, I want these weeds pulled and I want this garden box ready to go. Did we lose you there? I think I lost you.
Nope.
Okay.
No,
and but now, okay, looking at the fruit and the vegetables I pull off every morning, I think it was worth the wait. It was worth the work to get to here. But you don't start in the beginning and have harvest tomorrow morning. That takes a bit. And if you can just think that way, not to mention how long you've been doing what you've been doing before you came to the insurance industry. 7 years, 10 years, 20 years. What's the most money you've ever made? Well, $7,000 or $8,000 a month. Hey, that's a good number. That's respectable. But you're going to quit after 2 months because you're not making 20 grand a month after 2 months. You know, maybe you need to reset your expectations a little bit. Stretch, push, but realize it's just going to take a bit to grow.
Yeah, it's good to like, dude. I want to expand. I want to grow. I want to do it quickly. I want to get there fast. You know, that's great.
And you can get there fast, but you're going to do a lot more work.
That's right.
You're not going to do this part time. You're going to be working. Hey, I'll tell you the truth. The foundations I laid the first 2.5, 3 years, 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, nonstop. Because I started at 51 years old, Cody. So I'm thinking I just turned 60 a couple of weeks ago. Believe it or not.
Happy late birthday, my friend. That's awesome, man. Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Does Darin not look good for 60, man? Oh my gosh, dude.
Thank you.
Maybe this should turn this into a health podcast. You know, I mean, dang.
Hey, well, first things first, stop drinking so much. Stop eating fast food when you travel. It's hard to stay healthy when you're I've got a pile of Chinese food over here that I'm going to open up in a few minutes, and I'm sure it's not very healthy.
Yeah, I mean, you got all those veggies and all that whole garden waiting on you, but you ain't been home.
At home? Yeah, but hey, I've been gone 21 of 31 days this July.
That's a lot, dude. That's a lot.
I can't even believe it. I mean,
But you're in a business that allows that too.
Sure, absolutely. I wrote a $4,300 APV IUL the other day. A couple weeks back, I wrote a $918,000 annuity. A couple smaller policies here and there. I mean, you know, look, have laptop, have cell phone, have Wi-Fi. I am running my $13 million agency from this little hotel room today.
It's cool. It's kind of crazy.
It takes a bit to get it going.
Yeah. Are you someone that's like, man, cannot believe I'm here, or I knew I would be here and I thought I would be here faster?
Second one.
Yeah.
I knew I'd be here. I didn't think it would take me as long as it took me. But that's okay. I mean, because along the journey, I was making money. The whole way I was making money. I just hadn't hit that target amount that I wanted to. But I was also getting better. I had to go through a lot of growth.
Exactly.
When I came here, I was a broken and angry man at 51 years old. So I had to go back and get rid of a lot of crap and anger and bullshit that, you know, bad decisions in my life that I didn't think were that bad at the time that, you know, led me to my current present, which comes back to you got to get humble. If you really want to build this big, it's going to humble you. It's going to knock you down. And then, you know, like Rocky says, it's not about getting knocked down. It's about getting back up. How many times can you get back up and power through? Hence, power players, right?
That's right. Hey, man. Yes, sir. That's the next level. That's for sure. When you think about a system, and an agent's like, okay, I hear that we should plug into a system, but I don't fully understand what that means. What is a system from your point of view?
Okay, so in my agency, we're Symmetry Financial, and the PacQuest agency is my master agency, and I've got, I don't even know, like several thousand licensed agents, but on any given month, there's 400 or 500 turning in business right now, which is, I never thought I would get here. So the route for new people in our agency is, hey, look, you know, you got to get a new email address because you're going to get bombarded with usernames and passwords. And if you have an old email, you could have a time sensitive document you need to sign. It's going to go into spam and it's lost. You're slowing yourself down. Then we get started. One of my managers, Chris Leak, has the Mortgage Protection University. I think the finest training there is. It's a lousy $50, and it's 66 modules plus live dialing. Got to get through that. And then we have the company's summit training. I even have a basic sales training. It's about 3.5 hours for a lousy $27, just to kind of rust out the cobwebs and get things cleaned up to help you start to think in the form of the art of human influence. You're not trying to pitch people and sell people. But some people have a wall up. Some people know they need it. They just don't understand it. Sometimes you're talking to a couple and the husband wants to save face and not look stupid in front of his wife. And so you got to chisel away at him gently, kindly, to get that wall to drop down so that they can then what? Same thing I've been saying, receive new information. Because once you receive, remember I said you're unconsciously incompetent? Well, now you're consciously incompetent. Now you know what you didn't know. And you got to get to those 4 stages of that maturation process where you're unconsciously competent. It just happens on autopilot. It just takes some time to get through that. So then, we have a video training. And in my agency, we have daily huddle calls every day of the week. We have a powwow. My agency is the PacWest agency. So PacWest powwow Monday, 12:30 at Mountain Time, where we're focusing on the newest agents. Okay, you got to go to Sure LC. You got to sign your contracts. All the boring, mundane crap. Sometimes we're like, well, I want to understand all the product. I got to know everything before I get on the phone. No, you don't. The way I train, we get through all the admin crap. Let's just knock it out. I know it's another day, fine. But we want to get you on the phone, booking appointments, doing a complete telephone interview. Then from there, you get with a mentor or coach. So remember I said I got to teach you 4 skills you're not good at yet? Okay, here's skill number 1, the phones. The phones, it's everything. Everything rises and falls on the phones. And let's just get rid of the 900-pound elephant in the room. You will never make it dialing 50-cent and $1 bonus leads. You will never make it dialing 50-cent and $1 crappy, shitty old leads. Sometimes I wish we didn't have old leads because some people get that minimalist, poor thinking, well, I'm just going to, let me buy some more of these $1 leads. Okay, yes, there are nuggets of gold in there. There are. But my God, you got to sift through a lot of people. Here's the paradox. The fastest route to deposits in your bank account are which leads, Cody? The cheapy old resold leads or the most expensive fresh leads? What's the fastest route to deposits in your personal bank account?
Fresh and expensive.
Yeah, like the CABOOM leads.
That's right.
Cody's CABOOM leads are fantastic. Now, if you're brand new, here's what we teach. About 10 days. 2 weeks tops on the 50-cent and $1 leads. Why? Because you're going to get the marbles out of your mouth. Yes, we have scripts, but you can't say, hi, this is Darin from the Mortgage Protection Center. I'm calling you because, F off, you know what's going to happen. You got to find your voice. But if you learn to do a complete telephone interview, height, weight, date of birth, medications, diseases, whatever they've got wrong with them, was it a purchase? Was it a refi? People say, well, why do you ask that? I'm like, man, I spent 20 years in mortgage banking. Every time someone does a refi, what's the main thing they're looking to do? Save on their monthly budget, consolidate and cut their monthly budget. Now, I know we're not doing a lot of refis right now. In fact, Jerome Powell wouldn't help us out again yesterday and today. I'm sure the president is getting I'm getting frustrated. But you lower that overnight bank rate and it creates more certainty in the bond market. Bonds go up, long-term rates go down. It's an inverse relationship. So we have to get the bond market rallying to get long-term 30-year mortgages down. And then once that happens, Cody, we're going to be swimming in mortgage protection leads again. But rates have been so high for 4 years, that's just an anomaly thing. But eventually it's going to come back down. So if you do a complete telephone interview, skill set number 2, I call it, Cody, C and C. C and C. Well, what's that? Casework and carrier selection. In my agency, I will never lock you in a conference room, make you download an underwriting manual and sit there and memorize that crap. That's stupid. It's a waste of time. Now, I know where to go get the underwriting manual. I know where to get the bill chart. I know where to get the little cheat sheets where it's like, okay, well, this person had this disease 4 years ago. Or this person had this 6 years ago or last year. Some say decline, some say graded, some say immediate. Yes, there's little resources. But see, if you're learning and mastering the phone calls, booking appointments, getting with a mentor and coach, casework and carrier selection, that leads to skill set number 3 that you're not good at yet. And that would be the presentation, the pitch. And I break it down to a couple different categories, Cody. So with your permission, hey, how about let's just learn how to do a basic term policy. I liken it to cooking. You ever go to a sushi bar, Cody? I love sushi.
Yeah.
And the best sushi guy in Boise, Shige Moriwasa, just retired after 35 years. And man, I'll put his sushi up against anywhere. And he's Japanese master, the whole guy, wonderful guy. But you go in there and you order. You notice they don't have to look at a script or look at the instructions. They just make it and it comes out and it's all beautiful, right? Well, that's because he's a master sushi chef. It took him years to learn how to do that. Remember how long was this process, Cody? I'm sorry, what did I say? Is it 3 to 5 days you're going to be master? 3 to 5 weeks, 3 to 5 months? No, 3 to 5 years. Now you can accelerate mastery by simply doing more dials, more casework, more carrier selection, more presentations. So to me, the first basic presentation, I think, is the term insurance. It's like making peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You're not going to starve to death. You can eat. You can feed your family. You can have, I don't know, call me crazy, Cody. Every time you close a deal, manage your money. You got your operating account. You got your payroll tax account. Then you have your leads and advertising account. So I click and drag money and tell my agents, look, take 20% off the top of every closing and drag it into your leads marketing budget. So in a couple of weeks, when you start to invest money into the next set of leads, Cody, is it paid in capital or is that pure profit?
Pure profit.
Yeah, now you're starting to think differently about the business. See, it becomes an arbitrage machine, right? So you're learning the term insurance. Then next one, I would learn how to do some basic final expense. Hey, you got some great carriers. You got Americo, Eagle Select, got Mutual of Omaha, Living Promise. Oh, well, how do I know that? Well, because I did 3 of these and it was the same 72, 77-year-old. And I went to Cody, my mentor, and he said, well, based on this and based on that, that's going to go to Americo, or it's going to go to Mutual of Omaha or Transamerica, or it's going to go to American Amicable or Foresters or whatever, nationwide, whoever you're working with. You see why I don't want you to memorize the underwriting manual?
Yeah.
You're going to earn while you learn. Earn while you learn. And then maybe the third presentation would be learning how to do an IUL. I mean, I think IUL is one of the best financial. I have a couple of them, and I just consolidated and put into one new one and took a bunch of cash out of one and 1035 then into another and up my monthly contribution. I mean, in short, pay the taxes now, put in after-tax taxes dollars today into your IUL. And as it grows over time, you lend it back to yourself tax-free. Well, wait a minute. What about my 401k? Okay, well, tell me what are the tax rates going to be 5, 10, 20, 30 years from now? Because you're just deferring the taxes. You're not getting rid of the tax. You're just pushing them into the future. I love IULs. And then maybe the fourth presentation in time would be to learn how to do annuities, fixed index annuities, IRA rollovers, 401ks, 403bs, thrift savings plans, 457 deferred compensation plans. But in the beginning, if you stumble into that, we have a subject matter expert referral program at Symmetry. You can be brand new, just hand it off to someone like my daughter, Audrey Bobinger, who's got a Series 65. She got all that crap. You still get a split on that. 40% for handing off a name and number to someone who's smarter than you versus trying to be greedy and do it all yourself. Let me ask you a question, Cody. How much money are you going to make at 100% commission contract if you can't close the deal? 0.
That's right.
So did you really do your prime? What's our prime directive? Your little Star Trek, right? Helping customers. Yeah. My God, stop thinking about the money. Go help some people. Funny thing happens when you help people. Money starts to pour into your bank account because you're not thinking about you and your bills. So if you're new and you stumble on someone who says, yeah, well, I got about $184,000 in my 401k. I don't know what to do with it. Great. Hand that off to someone else and split the commission. Didn't we do the right thing when no one's looking? Yeah, because we took care of the customer. And then that's skill set 3, learn the presentations. And then skill set 4, if you choose, you need to learn how to recruit and train people. And guess where skill set 4 starts with, Cody? Right back on the phone. Right back on the phone. I did a presentation the other day. It was about 320 people in a Zoom meeting. And they asked me to kind of tell my origin story. So I did. And I got to the point, I went to school. I grew up on a farm, lots of hard work. Went to school, majored in finance and economics, started as a stockbroker in 1987 in Sacramento, went to a mortgage bank and moved to Boise in 1993, made millions, went bankrupt in 2008, foreclosure, bankruptcy, everything. Then did some consulting. Christmas 2015, sitting there in my house, glass of wine, praying to Jesus, help me, Lord. Help me. I'm 50 years old. How am I ever going to be able to retire? 13 days later, my phone rang. Someone I hadn't talked to in 7 years, Cody. Tony Capistrano from Portland, Oregon.
I like Tony.
Think about the thin line, the razor sharp line. One phone call changed the trajectory of my life.
It's insane.
I will forever be thankful for that phone call, that cold January night, sitting in my home all by myself. So pick up the phone. You don't know. How do you know your buddy or friend, or she's this and she's that? Well, maybe she hates it, or maybe she got fired, or this guy, that. How do you know unless you have the willingness to want to share from your heart? Some people say yes, some people say no. Kind of like the deck of cards. It's okay. Sort and find.
Yeah, it's awesome. I do have 3 other questions for you.
Sure.
However, I am going to be saving those for as an extra content for our C Studios members. And so we'll jump into that in just a second. However, if they have questions or they want to get in touch with Darin, what do they do? Where do they go?
The easiest thing to do is workinsurancenow.com, www.workinsurancenow.com. Put in your name, your number, your email, referred by me, or you got it from Cody. Watch some videos. Like every funnel page, it's not going to tell you everything. It's not designed to tell you everything. Because remember, everything's a test. I'm trying to sort you out. Why would I waste my time with someone who's not going to follow instructions? Mm-hmm. Maybe you watch it and you go, hey, you know what? That was a nice podcast. I like Cody, like Darin, but I don't think this business is for me. That's okay, Cody.
Yeah.
It's okay. God bless you. Much success to you. Best to you and your family. I'm perfectly fine with that. Or maybe you watch it and you say, maybe I'll go to Darin's calendar, or maybe I'll just call him up and book a session to visit. That's fine too. But I mean, if you're really looking, all I can tell you is, everything in my life has changed. When I came here, I had a 520 credit score. I hadn't had a credit card in 7 years, Cody, because I had 17 foreclosures, personal bankruptcy, business bankruptcy, you name it, everything was bad. Now I have over an 800 credit score. I got a wallet full of credit cards. I got a safe full of credit cards. They keep handing me credit cards. I don't even need credit cards. By the way, I didn't know you could get a credit card with no limits. But I've never made this much money. I've never had this high. I got 3 of those.
Right.
Not that I'm bragging. I'm just like, you can understand how far my life has come and how much has changed. I don't worry about the price of things anymore. I go to a restaurant. I look at the wine list. I say, well, that's $400 a bottle. Great. I'll take 2 bottles because I don't care anymore. But at the same time, it's not just me. You know how many people in my agency are making money? First, it was a couple people. Then it was a dozen people. Then it's hundreds of people. I have dozens and dozens of people in my agency that started with that original phone call from Tony Capistrano Monday night, the 11th of January, 2016, that make 6-figure incomes. One of my agency owners, she called me a couple months back crying in a good way. And I said, what's going on, Angel? She says, well, I just paid off my car. And I still have more money in my bank account than I've ever had. And I make more money in a month than I used to make in a year working at the pharmacy. Single mom, couple children, 2.5 years. And so you start to look at that and think, what kind of impact can you have?
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of impact you can have, but let's find out. Call me up. Go to my website. Let's talk. I'd love to visit with you.
It's awesome. I love it. Thank you for all you're doing. And thanks for being back on the podcast.
Thank you, Cody. Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you, buddy. Also appreciate you guys hanging and listening. Let us know in comments below what you thought of Darin Stubbs. If you haven't seen him before, we got a bunch of interviews with Darin over the years. You'll have to go back and check them out and watch them if you enjoyed this one. We look forward to seeing you on the podcast again very soon and in castudios.tv as we're about to jump to some extra questions with Darin. We'll see you on the next one. CABOOM.